in Hindu Dharma, we have the Char Dhams, the four major pilgrimage sites. And it is said that Lord Vishnu, he took his divine bath at Rameshwaram. Then he came to Badrinath for his meditation. Then he came to Puri, Jagannath Dham, and had a wholesome, satisfying meal. And then he went to Dwarkanath for his divine sleep. So Orissa is culturally very, very significant when it comes to food. And today I'm privileged to get this opportunity to discuss about regional cuisine with Chef Ranveer. Thank you so much. It was wonderful seeing you and seeing your take on Mudhi Mansa and Chhena Poda. And I think that's something so important you mentioned, the line between innovation and fusion. Because, let's say butter masala dosa or chow mein dosa is probably fusion and something, probably a South Indian person might not relate to. But this was something, like you said, all of us were proud to see our cuisine being represented so well. So I would like to ask you, what is it that makes a regional cuisine acceptable and popular beyond its geographic origin?
How often it is spoken about. That is all. I always go back to the point saying why did suddenly Punjabi cuisine take over as Indian cuisine? When did that happen and why did that happen? Because Punjabis are loud people, they just wouldn't stop talking about the food. The limitations of a cuisine, of it being so it doesn't connect to a universal palate, it doesn't connect to this, all that is much, much, much later. The biggest part is how often and how loudly does it get spoken about, and how many avenues does it get to project. So I think वो part जो है ना हम लोग मिस कर जाते हैं. हम लोग cuisine की merits को ये fact है, मैं chef होके बोल रहा हूँ ये. I'm a Punjabi and a chef, so you have to trust me on this. When I say Punjabis just went and told the world that their food is the best and the world believed them. Because they just spoke about it everywhere, they spoke about it the loudest. आज भी I went to Goa and then there are more Punjabi restaurants than anybody else. Yeah? Why? Because you just shamelessly speak about it.
That's it?
That is the first and the most important step for making any cuisine accepted and popular. We should learn it. We should have learned it from the Americans way back. But yeah, that is the most important step.
So you've been exposed to the cuisine of Orissa. Today you went to the Lingaraj temple. In the evening you're going to Puri. So if you were asked to describe the flavors of Orissa to someone who hasn't ever tasted it, how would you describe Oriya cuisine?
एक तो है top shelf answer, which is divine, right? That's a top shelf answer without even going further deep and thinking about it. I think divine is the right representation of Oriya cuisine. But I think if I were to divine तो tagline होगी ना, अगर मेरे को नीचे 2 line का descriptor डालना है, तो it would probably be, it is simple, real, honest food, right? That aims at leaving a lasting impression, even if it does not wow you at the first sight. It will leave it stays with you for the rest of your life. Not as a first impression, as a lasting memory. First impressions can be deceitful. First impressions also are, in today's world, are plenty and everywhere. Lasting memories are difficult to find.
That's such a wonderful way to put it, divine and a cuisine of lasting memories. Thank you so much. We'll be using that in the future to describe our cuisine for sure. But wow factor nahi hai, to fir how do we take it to the world? Now people are not going to give us second chances all the time. So how do we wow them and make this global?
See, Honestly, I think इसका आंसर जो है ना वो ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे ग्लोबल टेम्पलेट्स में है, right? A lot of global templates in the West and even in India have been able to, first of all, it's not that there is no wow, it's the projection of wow. Wow क्या है? Wow is the projection. And I always give the example of Nordic cuisines, right? Sweden, Finland, Denmark, मतलब वो बेचारे फलों की शक्ल नहीं देखते यार महीनों महीने, right? Most of their cuisine is either sun-dried or snow-dried or semi-frozen or fermented. Look at where they bought it. The world's top 5 restaurants year on year are Nordic restaurants. I mean, Copenhagen has become the hub. They're calling Helsinki the next Copenhagen, right? So it's not that, I mean, is there anything wow about living in a place where you don't see sun for 4 months, right? No. So that's what I'm saying. As food people, we're just poor marketeers who need to accept it. And that is why all these marketing consultants, they take so much money from us. And the point of it all is marketing comes from a sense of belief. At the same point in time, it also comes from a sense of acceptance. You cannot be fighting the battle that I'm not perfect and projecting you're perfect. Your belief that I'm perfect has to coincide with your projection that you're perfect. That, I think, when you start with saying, I don't have a wow, no. Where is my wow? I need to find that wow and project a wow is the question. So I think I look at Orissa, right? India as a country has gotten more rice varieties that it thought were lost from this state than any other state. The tribals of Orissa were able to, in their own ways and means, preserve so many varieties of flora and fauna that the rest of the country thought was extinct. Which other state can boast of that? Which other state can boast of a prasadam like Jagannath Puri? Which other state can boast of having a coastline and yet going so deep inside that the cuisine changes 180 degrees?
So from the streets of Lucknow, where you discovered your passion for cooking and for food with the kebabs there, to being probably the most loved food celebrity in the country today, you have been through the entire rigmarole. We have a lot of food entrepreneurs here in the audience. Now, when it comes to running a restaurant, it's not as simple as cooking well and, planning a good menu or attracting just customers for the initial. What is the secret to sustainability? And what have been your learnings from the various restaurants that you have founded?
So in any food business, right, whether you're running a restaurant or a cloud kitchen or a bunch of restaurants or any food business, I think the part that makes the biggest difference is having a consumer-first philosophy, right? A lot of times when food people do their own businesses, they have a very extremely strong food-first philosophy, which is ये तो ऐसे ही बनता है, ये तो इसमें तो इतनी मिर्ची पड़ती है अभी क्या करें, right? I think like I said, I have opened around 40 odd restaurants, and 12 of them are closed, right? The nature of our business, you might go in fully prepared, but a restaurant is like a toss of a coin. It'll either be a head or a tail, and you'll never know why, right? So the nature of the business is fickle. You got to accept that. However, you can only maximize your chances of success by just keeping a few things in mind. One is going consumer first and not being extremely stuck to your food. All of us as chefs, we go around this 360 circle of life and come and understand that there is nothing called authentic, right? Authentic was ना वो हवा ऑथेंटिक है, ना वो पानी ऑथेंटिक है, ना वो इंग्रेडिएंट्स ऑथेंटिक है, ना वो लोग ऑथेंटिक हैं. 800 साल पहले, 1200 साल पहले किसी ने क्या बनाया, किसी को कुछ नहीं पता. That is our idea of authentic. If we get too stuck to authentic, we miss out on the consumer. We stop listening to the consumer. I think it's very important to either place your authentic food where the authentic consumer exists or listen to the consumer. In a food business, it's very, very important to be consumer first. We're living in a world where access is easy, competition is high, and as chefs, we get too attached. वो मंडाला वाली चीज़ हो जाती है. मेरी डिश है तो ऐसे ही बनेगी. You know, वैसे नहीं कर सकते आप आज की डेट में.
You're a wonderful storyteller. I think that's also what connects you to people. How important do you think is storytelling when it comes to marketing your cuisine?
It's everything. Stories are everything. I mean, what you take back, for example, what people would take back from that dish today probably is, अरे उसने साल का पत्ता जलाया और उसके ऊपर छाना पड़ा रखा. कोई ये नहीं बोलेगा उसकी रेसिपी ये थी, फिर उसने ये डाला, फिर उसने ये डाला. How does knowledge, information, what passes through generation is conversations. The books that are today were conversations at some point in time. The oral tradition of storytelling, passing down information, is the oldest and the most emotive way to pass down any piece of information. You cannot deny that, right? एक time तक तो मतलब after when Rishi Vedvyas, he also heard the Vedas and said the Vedas, no? What we hear and what we say is carried down for generations. And the best way for us to hear, say, and speak and conversation is storytelling. And that's why I personally believe a lot in the power of storytelling. I think dishes live through stories. Dishes live through conversations. Cultures live through stories. Family histories live through stories. You know, and then if the story exists, you will find the dish. मैं हमेशा ही कहता हूँ, अगर कहानी है ना तो dish आप ढूंढ लोगे.
In your website, you've mentioned about Pokhara, and you very rightly described it as humble, because even the poorest sections, the most underprivileged sections, Pokhara is a part of their staple diet. But ये humble को कैसे हम popular कर सकते हैं? How can humble be more popular?
Very, very good question. Huh? So I'm so glad you asked it. Otherwise, I had to get to it. ये सबसे बड़ा challenge for Odisha. The biggest challenge is it's when you're simple and humble. How do you market simple and humble? When the basic nature is being happy and quiet, and just happy in your own world, how do you market that? Right? Because that goes against the basic nature of who you are. And what you do cannot go against the basic nature of who you are. Honestly, I think the only thing that you got to do, and I'm not saying stretch boundaries, but the only thing that you got to do is, humility के साथ ना, pride को भी उतनी जगह दो. That humility and pride has to go in together, and there's no harm being. Pride is not a negative connotation. And when pride comes in, pride finds its expression.
Pride, not arrogance.
No, definitely. You can't, Odiyas can't be arrogant. वो तो छोड़ ही दो, वो तो बहुत दूर की, बहुत आगे चले गए हम. अभी तो pride वाली सीढ़ी पे ही चढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग ऊपर. You know, but express pride. And you will not lose your humility in expressing pride. That is all I'm saying. That's the best way to take this forward and yet keep the core of what Odisha and Odiyas are about intact. The Odiya pride.
So,
इस चीज के लिए तालियां बजनी चाहिए. उसके लिए बजनी.
So I work in the news industry, and all the trends point towards, the next few years is going to be the era for hyper-local news, not just news restricted to cities. So is this going to be a great time for hyperlocal regional cuisine as well? Is it going to explode? What do the trends say? And what is the scope for it business-wise?
Hyperlocal is the new mantra, right? We saw that change a while back when people said, no, I don't want to politically define my cuisine. When Maharashtrian cuisine started giving way to Khandeshi food, Puneri food, Vidarbha food, Konkani food, you got a sense of it 10 years ago, when it wasn't just state boundaries, political boundaries that were defining cuisines. The natural progression would have been, yes, how do you create subcultures, sub-regions? And then COVID made that process much faster. You had time for more discovery, you had time for deep diving, and hence hyperlocal just became a natural extension and was put on a fast track. So it is the way to go, and like I said, it is so good to hear conversations about नहीं वो कटक का आलूर दम ऐसा होता है, अरे वो तो बहुत स्पाइसी बनाते हैं, हमारे भुवनेश्वर वाला खाओ, you know, we add layers to that. It's very important to find these hyper regional and that's where GI comes in. No, mudi to hamari hai, no, it's GI tagged. Yeah, so I think that bit, hyper local, hyper regional, subcultural, detailed, is the future for food, and that's why time for Orissa will come.
So, you have the iconic maa ke haath ka khana, my mother is the best cook narrative, but then all the chefs are papas. As in, they're all men in all the restaurants. How does that work?
See, I think, no, first of all, you're breaking, that stereotype's breaking. See, what happens is, for the longest time, cooking for large people was just unnecessarily laborious and, bade bartan, badi handiyan, so on and so forth. Till now, the kitchens are all mechanized, it's not as tough. And I think that just started this whole chain, this is like pehlwani wala kaam, let these guys handle it. And the women were smart enough to say, I'm not interested in this. Also, it was more about organizing than cooking. The real cooking still happens at home, right? And all these guys who are chefs eventually go back to home food, home cooking, and say, okay, yeah, I wish I could cook like my mom. But that's breaking. I think, shuru se hum logon ne Maharaj bhi, it's not just chefs. We've seen Maharajas to be men. Before that, in all folklore, fables, we've seen these badi handiyon ke samne, Bhim being a cook in Agyatwas. So that basically was just because of the nature of the work at that point in time, it just became associated to a certain gender. We're breaking it now. A lot of fantastic female chefs out there.
My questions will never end, so we'll go to the audience.
My name is Devashish, and this question actually is on behalf of my daughter. I'm not sure she'll ask this question, so I'm just asking you on her behalf. And whenever we've seen you in MasterChef or even here, we always see you first smell. What is so particular and why first smell?
इसका आंसर पता है, आज मेरे को आज सुबह ही मिला है. So I saw them take the prasadam in the temple all wrapped around. They had their faces covered, nose covered. तो मैंने कहा ये प्रसाद ऐसे क्यों लेके जा रहे हैं? बोल रहे नहीं, in Orissa we believe if you've smelled it, you half eaten it. तो भगवान को भोग लगाते टाइम सूंघते भी नहीं है. So that is why you smell food, because the first interaction with food, even before you taste it, you get a fair amount of idea of what you're going to taste and where it is going to go. So वो smelling is half eating वाला fundamental. आंसर मेरे को आज मिल गया. उसका बड़ा अच्छा टर्म था, मैं उससे आग्रहण अर्ध भोजन. That is the answer, sir.
Thank you so very much, and thank you, Chef, for being so honest and being so genuine.
Thank you.
And just being so sweet.